So, and we are live. Hello,
Yay.
everybody in chat. Thank you for being here. I have with me today Jackie from
Hi.
Jackie's Crystal. Wait a minute.
Moon.
Moon. Oh my God.
It's there on screen, look.
Jackie's Crystal Moon Brain Fart. I'm so excited. Jackie and I have been like just chatting up a storm backstage for the past half hour about, the world we live in,
Yeah.
conspiracies and things that we know are conspiracies and how we have to be careful, when, especially with me, doing investigative tarot because YouTube, is very particular.
Heather, I'm actually getting an echo of your voice right now.
Okay. Let
What's
me
that
check
about?
my phone. I don't know. Let me get rid of my
Oh
phone.
my God, I can't hear you properly because all I'm getting is.
All of us, all of a sudden, now that we're live.
Yeah, I have both our voices repeating.
I don't hear anything
Oh,
on this end.
this is too freaky now.
Why don't you give it a? Why don't you go out, come back in, and
So will I
if you,
just do leave studio, yeah?
yeah, then I'll let you back in, and then if that doesn't work, I'll try it.
Oh my God, okay, this is weird.
Hey, I had problems too. Does it now in chat? Do you hear an echo? Sounds good here. Book Bewitched. Okay, you're not echoing here, so it's something on Jackie's end. Okay. Yeah, I know, Reese. I love Jackie's accent. So beautiful. No echo. Okay. So thank you everybody for being here. And Reese, no, I saw your comment earlier. You are not the only one. Um, so here, let me get Jackie.
Oh Lord.
Now everybody in chat says they don't hear no echo. Do you still hear echo?
So far so good.
Oh, okay. Sometimes we have to do this. Like me in the beginning, I had to reboot my whole iPad so Jackie could hear me. So
This is
yay, we're good.
No, it's
So
really like they don't want us talking about this. Like this is mad.
So really quick, Reese, hello, welcome. Thank you for being
Comments.
here. You look new to me, so welcome. I have Hershey. Thanks Hershey for being here. Nancy Riker, and yes, I have been obsessed since I
Oh,
was about 8 or 9 years old, and didn't know why. And now that I'm older and I understand about past lives, I had a past life. So, Dina, that is Shaw Woman. Let's see. And I saw that we had Teresa Hadarian. Hello, hello. And I know, and Reese says, I love that accent, Jackie. And I said, I know, it's beautiful. Book Bewitched is here. And everyone's saying there's no echoing. Okay. And hey, Allison, here's Aries girl. That's Allison. Hey, girl. Hey, what's up? So, wow. Okay. You are at 599 subscribers. Oh wow, that's awesome. Yeah. Going on next month will be my official end of 2 years, and I'll be starting my third. So it would be wonderful to start my third year on 600. That would be
wow.
amazing. Um, and Sylvia's here, and Hypnicity is here, and well, there's Leah. That's how fast the chat jumps. And Hypnicity. Oh my goodness, we got a nice little crowd coming in this afternoon. Welcome, welcome. So let me take this down. And for people who don't know who Jackie is, Jackie, you want to go ahead and share some about yourself and your channel, your investigative things that you like to do? Because Jackie loves
Oh,
investigative stuff. That's how her and I connect. So,
yeah. I am constant. I watch a lot of documentaries and things on the likes of the Titanic, the Titan sub, Madeleine McCann, Jean-Benet Ramsey, all these kind of true crime and conspiracy theory documentaries.
Summer Wells, we've been talking about Summer Wells the last
Yeah,
few
and the
days.
cards
Yeah.
I pulled were incredible because I watched someone else's reading afterwards. I think it was Aphrodite,
Yeah,
and
Aphrodite. Yeah.
what people were saying in the comments in relation to her disappearance were exactly what my cards had said. And I actually, like I said to Heather in an email, I had only heard her name. I'd never watched any readings or anything or documentaries on her. So I knew nothing. So I was totally blind pulling cards, you know. So it was incredible.
And if
Hey, Rain.
anybody, so if any of my moderators, oh yeah, hey Rain, hello sweetheart. Now, Jackie's channel link is in the description, but if anybody, one of my mods, can put that into the chat, that would be great. And I don't know if you saw this, Jackie, but Reese said one of the officers is buried in my town, Moody, who was
Wow.
the one who picked up the phone to the crow's nest when they spotted the iceberg.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. For me, it
Oh,
started in elementary. Why can I not get rid of no on comment? Oh, what is it today? There we go.
I know, right?
Can you tell me if the city Zion, Illinois is no, Leah? We're not reading on that today. We're reading on the RMS Titanic conspiracies. So maybe we can look into that for another show. Um, I'll just go ahead, or if you want to email me and give me a link, and we can do that
Wow.
too. He went down with the ship trying to free one of the collapsible lifeboats. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Oh,
So recently there's a show called Ghost in My Child, and it has to do with young children who, around the age of, 3 or 4, start having memories of their past lives. And one of them was this young boy, and he knew um, it could draw to his best abilities at that time as a child the different sections of the ship and things that were designed and whatnot, and they end up feeling that he was the one. If people saw the movie Titanic, the James Cameron one, the gentleman that said, "Rose, I promise you, this is a strong and sturdy ship." He was the one that built the ship, and this young boy believes that he was, that gentleman reincarnated. And once he had been
wow.
to one of the Titanic exhibits and things, and felt that he could put that to rest, he was able to move forward. So yeah,
Wow.
so that's some really interesting stories. Several children have talked about being on the.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. Nancy subbed to
Thanks,
Jackie.
Nancy.
Thank you, Nancy. Um, no, Leah, you're all good. Yeah, like I just saw Allison. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and actually it's 8 p.m. Eastern. Same channel here,
Yes.
and
Yes, Reese. I've seen that.
there's so many of them.
She was only 9 years old when she survived from the ship. Both her parents died.
Mhm.
But her mother never slept at night on the ship because she was petrified and she knew something was going to happen, and she'd sleep during the day. And
Wow,
yeah, the two of them
I
died and
didn't
she
see that one.
survived. Oh, it was from 1983. She was well in her 80s, I think, in 1983 when she was interviewed, and she died soon after. Yeah,
Yeah,
crazy. And that was
and
just like the boy on the Titan. He was petrified. He obviously knew something
yes,
was,
he knew what. Yep,
you know?
he did not want to go,
Yeah,
and from what I understand, his mom pushed him.
yeah,
From, well, allegedly, YouTube.
yeah.
This is so YouTube right away. This is just Jackie and I pulling some
Entertainment.
cards. Yeah, this is for entertainment only. And the I know the boy, they said on the news, did not want to go. His mother was like, "No, you need to go. You need to do this with your father. Don't make the family look bad because you're scared." Kind of
God,
basically. And so yeah,
terrible.
it was unfortunate. Hello, Fatima.
Hey, Fatima.
So
Is it Fatima? Sorry.
I can't remember if it's Fatima or Fatima, because I know how to. I've known people who pronounce it both ways. So as a child, hearing about the Titanic, reading about it before the movie even came out, I always knew that the story that they were telling was not real. I could
Yeah,
just feel that it was not real. And it wasn't until I got older and I learned about past lives and started saying, okay, yeah, I believe this past life. That certain dreams and things made sense to me growing up and what I remembered. And sometimes I
mm,
occasionally I'll have dreams. Um, I think so, Allison. That was one of the things I remember seeing in an article.
that's true.
the mother really wanted, him to go with his father.
Yeah.
But so I always knew that what they claimed to me didn't happen. Um, and for me, I pulled up, I want just to pull up a few videos just to get a refresher. And I actually learned about some conspiracies that I never heard of that just really made me laugh. Like there was a cursed mummy, princess mummy on the ship. Okay. But that was, made up through, I think it was the Washington Post, they were trying to put, sensationalism,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I had never heard that until I watched the video there a while ago. Never.
yeah. So there are like actually five potential possibilities. Um, so this is the first time I've ever done a investigative tarot with Jackie. So Jackie, how would you like to proceed? You're
Oh
my
God.
guest.
Um, well, this is your baby, as they say. So I assume you have some questions. So if you want to
Hmm.
just
Start
work
jumping
your
in.
way through the questions and we'll.
Okay, I have several different decks with me, including my pendulum. So
Me
everything's
too.
been, consecrated and stuff. And Jackie's really cool because Jackie's got a true crime deck. I don't know if you're going to use that because there's like no, well, this could very well have been murder,
I have
1,300
it.
some people. So she has this amazing deck. Oh my God. I am going to have to, in the meantime, I'm going to get some blank cards and just write, keywords on. But that's really cool. And the young lady who actually made that deck, do you want to share about her and her channel?
So her name is
Relative to tarot.
Kim Cooley, and her channel is Abundant Life Tarot. So she made this deck. It's 160 cards so far, but she said that when she made it, her husband asked her, "Do you have this card, that card, the other card?" And he listed out another something like 20 um keywords that she had missed. So she said she is going to make more cards and make them available. So I'm dying to get even more cards for this deck because I'm loving it so far. Like I'm pulling
Mm-hmm.
cards for it and it's just like speaking to me, it's brilliant. Oh yeah, sure, woman, 160 cards
Mm-hmm.
so far. So far. Look at the size of it.
And the cards that she gets out of there is eerily connected to the cases that she reads on.
Yeah.
It's not just like some ran out 160 card to pull out, a couple cards that relate, solely to the case that she's reading.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So yeah, even more cards than the deck of character. I thought 111 when she told me 160. I was like, what? She's adding more. And they're really not that badly priced. I think they're around
I
$47
think so,
last time
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I looked
Yeah.
American. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad price. So she doesn't take advantage, of
No,
people
not at
like,
all. No.
I
Plus with
mean,
this.
Etsy,
Oh,
$80 on
Etsy is
Etsy.
insane. Etsy is insane. You see, that deck that you sent me is the first
Yeah.
one I was looking at, and it was about €93 plus 40 shipping from America to here. Plus, I would have
Jeez.
had taxes, plus I would have get caught for customs fees coming from America. So it would have been actually more than 160. So I got this for 47, 15 delivery, and I had no customs fees. So
Because making playing cards is apparently in Luxembourg, you said, right?
Luxembourg, yeah,
Yep.
fantastic.
So it's a
Yeah.
European. And Cat Mama just said, well, thank you, Cat Mama.
Thanks,
That's
guys.
Claudia. And Dina said, if you can still shuffle it, it's all good. But when you shuffle, you break them up into halves, right? And
Well,
then you wait.
I was doing half at a time, but I've actually started holding the whole lot now and kind of getting better at it. Do you know?
Mhm.
I've been practicing.
Yeah, I mean, I have a deck and it's just like, okay, yeah, now my hands are too small for that. But Reese, yeah, the Cameron movie, it was hard to watch that the first time. I've only watched it maybe a couple times. I can't really watch it anymore
Okay.
because, I just feel, I mean, he did a really good job. And of course, it is the characters are fiction, but you know, what happened, the ideas of what happened, what
Yeah.
caused it was mainstream. And he even made sure that the design crew, the construction crew, everything was done to complete detail of what the they were pulling up, the plans from the silverware to, the plates to, the rivets,
Yeah.
and how many and what.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just very like, this needs to be, you know, as exact and precise as
Heather, did
possible.
you see him talking on YouTube about the Titan sub after it was
I
disappeared?
I did. I can't quite remember, but I know that from what he was saying, because a lot of people were getting the information that the guy did not properly build the Titan, and
Yeah.
what people were realizing, and this guy wasn't realizing, or he did, and he was just trying to get by to make the money, was that I'm sure that some of the materials, some that he was using to coat to wrap the outer of the ship for the pressurizing, once you do one or two trips, that weakens that material, and you have to constantly be replacing all the
Yeah.
parts. I mean, this guy was using a video game joystick
Yeah.
for directionals to get them down there,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what the hell, you are 12 miles down, no, 2 miles below, and you are, I mean, it's just, and each person was paying
Yeah.
$250,000
For
to
that
go
crap.
on this. So it was all about greed.
Yeah.
The one person I really felt bad about, besides the young child, the young boy that was pretty much forced to go, was that there was a guy that was on there. He, to me, I feel like he should have known better. But he was part of the historical, and he would go down there and try to retrieve certain things that would be for historical purposes and whatnot.
Yeah.
He wasn't like just, going for a joyride because he had a lot of money. He was part of the Titanic historical society. So I feel bad, that, he had to die on that.
Yeah.
But something still doesn't sit right with me on that whole thing too. And I
But
know Sherry and I know Sherry was reading with me, and it just feels like, I don't know. The
yeah.
one guy, I think it was the guy whose son was forced to go with him. He was actually, I believe, the one that was friends with King Charles, and had financial ties to King Charles through some sort of nonprofit for kids or something. And we all
Yeah.
know what's been going on in the news with the royal family, with Andrew and stuff, with Epstein.
Yeah.
And I'll stop it right there. YouTube, entertainment purposes only. And so you have that factor in there. You have the actual owner himself in there. Um, I don't know. There are just some things that just, and I was sharing with Jackie backstage, and one of the things that Sherry and I were getting in our cars is that I think a lot of those spirits down there, and not just the spirits, but the animals as well, because when you go down there, you are disrupting a natural habitat.
Yeah.
A lot of marine life and
Yeah.
wildlife have been killed because of our submarines and our militaries and stuff and whatnot. So it was just like, that last trip just seemed to be, that was it. It was like the breaking point, literally, on all levels. And so, hey Hershey. So the youngest that died was actually 19. That was the young man. Okay. Yeah.
The but James
Hmm.
Cameron was even saying that from the minute it came up on the news all over the world that they were sending out such massive search crews to find him, he said they already knew
They were dead.
that they were gone. Like, yet they still went ahead and sent out the search crews for this big show. Do you know? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, when I saw that, I automatically knew that, no, the thing that jumped into my head was the passengers, the Titanic finally had enough. That was one of the things
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
as part of. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, Allison, a lot of marine life suffers every day because of the shit that we're putting in the
Yeah.
water. Hmm.
True.
So Titanic, I think the first thing I want to read on is that a lot of people said they heard. Well, actually, no. Let's back up a little bit because something that Jackie and I knew, but Jackie knew a little bit more, was that um, there was a fire that had occurred down in one of the boiler rooms, right down by
Yeah,
the bow.
yeah,
And I heard about that, but what Jackie, told me, and I didn't realize until I watched the video too today, that that fire had already started before the Titanic even set sail. So, did you want to read to see if that fire contributed to the sinking?
yeah, yeah,
Because if you have a fire, so the Titanic was made um, with a type of it was made with iron. So iron, when it's in very cold water, can get very brittle. And some people are thinking, and I mean, this goes from one rabbit hole down to the other to the other.
oh,
So they're thinking that too. This possibility that this fire could have weakened even more the iron because you had that hot area and then hitting that ice cold water. And if they did slightly bump, an iceberg
yeah.
or something else, it could have caused, an explosion, or it could have caused it just broke apart. So
They did say
let's
in
see.
that documentary that like the fire was
Hmm.
raging so much that they were shoveling extra coal into it constantly. So they actually weren't going to have enough coal to get them across to America anyway. So that it was doomed. Do you know what I mean?
Wow. And there's
Um,
another possible reason why that was done too, having to do with J.P. Morgan. So, but I digress until we get to that point.
yeah, because on the I call it a fingernail to an eye, my daughter, on your thumbnail you had was Morgan involved, and I didn't actually know what that meant. So I'm
And
like,
I just wrote Morgan because I wanted to be very careful because everybody knows
oh,
how YouTube has been very censoring,
yeah,
and they don't like surnames. So instead of putting the
okay.
J and the P, I just put Morgan,
I
so
was
that
wondering who
it could be
Morgan
just
was.
anybody. They'd be like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Morgan who?"
yeah.
Morgan Freeman? I don't know. No, Morgan Freeman. But yeah, so I had to kind of downplay a little bit too, just to see,
Okay.
what was what. So did you want to pull cards to see if that fire contributed?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, people who have cards in chat, if you want to go ahead, I'll do my best to catch them and see.
I'm
And
gonna
let's
do
see,
half, I
Reese.
think.
It was said the rivets, they said, failed, not the iron sheets. The rivets were analyzed and found to have defects in the form of air bubbles inside the iron steel. Okay, gotcha. Wow, Reese, you are about it. I like you. Very cool. So, what deck do I want to use?
Reese also said the fire is visible on the black and white photographs of the Titanic. That's interesting.
Yeah, there was one for one of the videos that showed a little dark in space, but I couldn't really say yes or no because of the black and white and the type of photography.
Yeah.
It was grainy. So I'm going to toss a couple different decks here. I've got my Kipper. I've got Scott Allen's Farmer's Tarot with me. I also have my Heaven and Earth, which is a bit of a dark deck. Um, I got the Star Room Oracle by Kristen Louise with me because I think some decks can answer some questions while others, So,
Yeah.
whoa, okay, ooh, things hidden. The moon that just jumped
Offer.
out.
Do you just leave them fall out, or do you
No,
cut the deck?
I shuffle till I feel like I have to stop. But if they jump, as long as there's not a whole bunch of them,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll grab that and go okay, and I'll set it aside. Hmm.
Titanic. Oh, what was that? Vehicle transportation.
Gee.
Hmm. These two fell out, but I can't
Yeah.
make sense of my vehicle transportation. And oh, there we go. I'm still trying to get used to where to hold them. An accessory after the fact. There was
Okay.
bound to be some accessories after the fact anyway. Like with anything. suspicious. But vehicle transportation, I don't know. Well, of course, the vehicle, I suppose, being the ship.
Yeah.
Because there's cars and trucks in it, so that's what I was automatically thinking of. But sure, of course, yeah.
So that's interesting. I got right off the bat. I got the moon, and in the
Interesting.
traditional like Lenormand moon does have to do kind of like with the shedding the lights into the shadow, but intuition. So it's saying intuitively. Also, there were things hidden that was not brought to light. I did get the letter. So people did know what was going on, what had happened. I did get um, the mountain card, which represents obstacles. And I know that after the ship had sank, there was a hearing and people were being questioned. And
Yeah.
it just felt like there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of people that was trying to block, that was trying to obscure the truth of what really happened. I also got Tower, which we all know what Tower represents in the traditional tarot, but also in here, this represents buildings, isolation, could be government, it could be like a public building. But so for me, it feels like too that this could also be, that just came to mind, the company themselves, White Line Star, because a lot of people didn't realize, and I didn't realize it today, that I know that Morgan was associated with the Titanic, but I didn't realize he owned the White Line
Oh, okay.
company.
Oh,
So I also got Anchor, which is interesting. And I also got the tree, which represents health. But in this deck, because it's literally on fire,
oh, there you go.
so I'm feeling like, yes, the fire in part, contributed, or there was a fire, which, could have been the explosion, because there were people that said that they heard what sounded like an explosion, like a bomb that
Yeah,
went off.
I heard that
And
in the documentary. Yeah.
so I'm going to, you got any more cards for that one? I'll
No,
put
not
you over.
yet.
I'll grab a different deck and ask the same question.
I have my money and career oracle out as well for money related questions.
Okay.
What
Hi,
happened?
Fairway. Oh, this is an
Hi.
interesting chat, yes. Okay, bye, Ray. Thank you. So, did the fire that was burning when the Titanic sailed? Was that
Titanic
a
and
part
Bell last
of
night.
its...
Wow.
Whoa, now that just jumped out. Ooh, that's interesting. Whistleblower.
Oh, wow.
Yep, that one jumped right out. Isn't that piggy cute? So just, Jackie, so you know, people in chat, Scott Allen, Spiritual Essence, his family owned a farm, and he grew up on a farm. And so all the pictures on his deck that he made were all pictures from the family property. And there's even pictures of him as a kid with his siblings. So he used them for his cards. So it says here, whistleblower, news, speaker, learning. So that was the first one that jumped out.
I have which make a lot of sense. Where are we? There we go. Status and mental jail. So like they couldn't they had the status to live up to, as millionaires who designed and built the ship and whatnot, and they didn't want to let it get out that a fire was going to be the thing to destroy the ship, which is why they would have come up with the ice. Well, not the iceberg theory as if it didn't happen, but I suppose instead of trying to avoid the iceberg, because they did say there was 5 warnings before they sailed at all about the icebergs in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So these kind of would say to me like that maybe they went towards the icebergs to have them as a more natural kind of excuse as to why the ship went down,
Mm-hmm. I got to go with the flow.
Ah.
And the last card, look at this one. I got the devil card.
Oh,
Greed
sure.
is the first word.
And look at all the fire. Look, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, oh, hi, Jezreel. So with the fire, and Reese already, boy, Reese is just really jumping ahead. Let me catch up, Reese. So now part of the reason, one of the conspiracies, see YouTube conspiracies, hasn't been proven, is that I mean, this is going to be like a launch, so people just bear with me, because there are some videos that have said they have proven they could debunk this, but this has been one of the well, I can tell you this is, let's just state that this is fact. So there were supposed to be multiple millionaires on this ship when it took off.
Right.
You had Astor, you had Strauss, and you had Guggenheim. Now, some videos talk about how the three of them did not want the US government to be a part of the banking system, which we now know went ahead and it's, the Federal Reserve. Now, according to speculation, YouTube, Morgan was very much for the government in establishing the Federal Reserves.
Okay.
And with Morgan owning, the White Line Star, add that to the mix. And then also, and this is what Reese is talking about. Now, apparently or allegedly, one or all three of Strauss, Guggenheim, and Astor did not want the federal government to be a part of the banking, and they were against it, and JP was for it. Now, some videos have said that this has been disproved, or they had never officially voiced their opinion. So with that being said, the day that the Titanic sailed, JP Morgan and his family were supposed to be on that ship too with them, with all the others. And at the last minute, he decided, oh, I'm not going. He claimed that he wasn't feeling well.
Wow.
And decided not to go. And this is where Reese is coming in with
Right.
all this.
Okay.
So I think actually, Reese, this is a good segue. And we have to watch how we word this too. Is that well, I'm just going to say it. And if YouTube wants to have a way with me, they can have a way with me. But I would like to know if Morgan, I'll just say part of his name, if Morgan was involved, as a starting question, was Morgan involved in any way with the sinking of the Titanic? For entertainment purposes only.
Right.
And no fair away, they were not. They were extremely expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
And right, Reese, everything is alleged. Yes.
So was Morgan involved?
Let me. Involved with the sinking.
Those ones are in plain bowl.
Okay. Oh, I thought you said you were ready to go.
No, but wait.
I'll just keep it like this. So when I got the moon card again, how interesting.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, see, it's all so suspicious.
Yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead really quick. So I got courthouse.
Oh.
Justice. Consequences. Also on here, it says there's also a bullseye on his card. Next one I have is the 7-8 of cups. So what Scott did was he combined some of the cards together into his But it says here, delusions, fantasy, or dreaming, and it also says leave the past behind. Ooh, that sounds interesting. I'm going to get a clarifier for that because it seems like it's kind of funny too because you got a face palm, on the picture also. But again, I got the moon card. Secrets. Dark
Dark
thoughts.
thoughts.
Mm-hmm. And then on the bottom of the deck again was the whistleblower. But I want to get a clarifier for the 7, 8 of cups. And when
These
you're set.
Mine don't seem to want to play ball.
Oh. See, it says here, leave the past behind. Well, the past, we're just speculating. I have a clarifier for this.
Entertainment.
Dark and bitter. I got the Queen of Swords, Winter. It says educated lawyer. You know, he definitely had lawyers, but I also got dark and bitter. Queen of Swords can be very, very sharp-tongued, very cruel, very, depending. And just because it's a queen doesn't mean it's necessarily it's a woman. But yeah, dark and bitter. So yeah, I'm going to pull from a different deck because I like getting different. And why wasn't there better?
Did your man Morgan? Oh yeah, he didn't go. Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my Kipper, and for Kipper, here I'm just going to show people. I'm going to use the wealthy man as Morgan in the Kipper because what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle, and I'm going to see where he lands in the cards and see the cards surrounding him. And for the readings too, I also decided to use official person as Captain Smith as well because he played, And Farah, I actually watched a video today. I'm just going to put this up here really quick. I was watching a video today. Back then, there was a ruling that it wasn't the number of passengers on a ship that delegated how many lifeboats were to be on a ship. The Titanic actually had 2% more than what was legally required. Back then, I think they went by, they said in the video, they went by the size of the ship and not the passengers, which makes no effing sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah.
But back then, that was the rules. But because of the sinking, the rules were changed. So not the loss, that much loss of life wasn't for nothing. At least after that, boats were then required to have enough lifeboats. But the problem too with Titanic is that a lot of the lifeboats weren't being filled all the way, and people could see why in the movie. A lot of them had to do with the upper class didn't want lower class sitting with them, or they didn't want to be in a tight, they were that evil, that greedy, that they refused to give people, a seat if they were from a different class. And it's disgusting that same kind of class warfare is still going on today.
Cheers.
So I'm just gonna
look, death
here.
Oh,
there we go. Death.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because there's another rabbit hole to go down with the deck card. I'll wait to see what more you get.
Yeah.
I'm going to mute myself really quick.
Death. So we're asking about Morgan, but drowning had fallen out too, but he wasn't on it. But it was Morgan involved. So as opposed to physical drowning, this would suggest to me that it was the company was drowning. The White Star Line was drowning. And of course, coming up with death, then falling out straight after it. Because, one of the conspiracy theories was that they'd switched the ships and that it was the Olympia, because when the Olympia had been damaged beforehand, the insurance company wouldn't pay out. So they said that they had swapped the Titanic with the Olympia, which will be a later question anyway, in order to claim the insurance money and pay for the Olympia. So that's what the drowning card would mean to me in that situation, that the company was drowning. The White Star Line was thanks, Reese.
That's
The White Star
interesting.
Line was drowning. Yeah. Because it fell out first, and I was like, oh, that makes no sense because we're talking about Morgan and he wasn't even on it, so he didn't drown. So what the hell? But then when the death card came out, I was like,
It was all the people's that died. I mean, that's how a lot of people, and most people, they didn't die of drowning. They died because the water was so damn cold
yeah,
that they froze to death
it just
within
froze.
like
Yeah.
5 or 10 minutes.
God, well, thought of it.
I'm still looking for him in these cards.
All about the money, exactly.
Wait a minute, where did you go? Oh,
I've watched so many documentaries, Reese, that I've
there we go.
remembered all the important stuff.
I mean, some of them are still saying that. Well, with the
Yeah.
whole Olympic switch, they said that really can't be true because I guess the steel plates were all stamped with numbers that were associated with the creation of
Yeah.
the Titanic, not just the number where a number can be, numbers could be switched.
Yeah.
But however, I don't know. I would still like to read on that.
I know.
Let's see. Aries girl got my cards indicate Morgan was not involved. However, there is something legal and or financial that was an issue.
Yeah.
And now I'm headed back to work. Thanks, Allison. Have a
See,
good day.
Alison.
She drives bus for the little ones, so.
All right.
Well, this is interesting. So, the couple cards that were around the wealthy man, which would have represented Morgan, was thoughts. Here, let me see. I got thoughts. I got change. So he changed his mind. He thought he changed his mind. I got distant horizons, which is a ship and an anchor. He didn't go. And then I got a mature man. I don't know what the mature man has to do with it, but I also got false person. So there's something false is going on here. He wasn't responsive. Interesting. Let's see.
Wow.
Still gonna grab another deck and I'm gonna mute myself so that I can say the name fully out loud without.
The joys of YouTube. Oh. I have concealed or hidden. There we go. I'm still trying to get used to where to hold the cards. Concealed or hidden, which would be obviously a lot of information about the whole thing. Not just after it, but before it and during it and the whole lot. There seems to be a lot. I mean, there's so many conspiracy theories. You'd think there has to be something else to it than just, what the movie came out with and that kind of thing. The jealousy, again, it could be something like the fact that, like I said, the company was probably drowning and in debt. And that there was jealousy there with them and maybe some other rival company or something. Do you know? So yeah, that's them.
I know Allison said that she wasn't getting that. I got my pendulum. I'll ask at the last minute. But this is interesting. I got the temperance card. I got temperance. So there's a balance here that's going on.
Yeah.
I asked for a clarifier, and of all things, I got a boat. And it says earned success, moving to better shores. But what really gets me is the king not the king, sorry, the Four of Pentacles. So that has to do with holding, it has to do with finances,
Greed.
greed, holding on to money, um, or
Yeah.
watching what they spend. Oh, watching what they spend, the greed. They weren't using the proper materials like the rivets and things.
Yeah.
And then I got swiftness. So
Huh.
that could be it too. And that
And
was that could very well, Jackie, be the cover up.
yeah.
Is that they weren't using, and but I mean Morgan had to have been aware that they weren't using the proper materials. I'm going to ask that. I'm going to
Especially
read
if he
that out.
decided last second not to get on it, like. Do you know?
I wonder if he knew about the fire, and that's why he didn't want to go on.
Yeah. Reese said so the ship might not have sank had they not fixed the radio. I think they were gonna sink anyway, because the documentary about the fire had said that the fire was raging so hard that they were throwing so much extra coal onto it that they were going to run out of coal. They did not have enough coal to get across to America. And the geniuses on the ship had this notion that if they sailed faster, which is why they would have sped up, that they somehow thought that that would make them get there, even though going faster was just still burning more coal. That even if there wasn't an iceberg that hit it, they would have gone down anyway, because they wouldn't have had a hope of getting to the other side. Yes,
So
it
that would
involves
be
magic.
so that would be interesting. I'm going to ask. I love having you on because when you talk about stuff, it ends up triggering new questions and things to ask. I want to know if that's a good question to ask the card, if that the ship was sped, because there's been speculation and rumors that, like with James Cameron's movie, that Ismay wanted to show off and say,
Yeah,
hey, let's be in New York by so and so,
let's
and
be the
that
fastest.
Captain Smith should have known better, not to have, might have been coerced into going faster.
Yeah,
Because they said that despite, because of the size of the Titanic was the size and the shape. It was no way for it to be able to go as fast as its counterparts in the day. And
yeah,
so it was, the excuse was used that Ismay and Captain Morgan, not Captain Morgan, wrong ship,
Morgan.
wrong captain, that Captain Smith,
Now you're talking some
Ismay
rum.
wanted to prove to the world, like, look how fast and luxurious and how great the ship is. That
Yeah,
might have been a cover because of what you just said. So
yeah,
what I'm going to ask my cards, and I apologize to the chat, because when I'm talking and I'm thinking, I'm shuffling, I don't, so I apologize. That I'm going to see if that is why they sped up through that through that ice field, is
yeah,
because they knew that they weren't going to have enough coal. So I'm going to read on that.
yeah.
It is tragic. It really is.
I think, Reese, you might be right there with the unless fear of embarrassment stopped them, because like even that old woman that I watched being interviewed from, I think it was 1983, she said that she remembers physically seeing a ship so close that she could, it was so close that she could see. She knew exactly that it was another ship near them. This is after distress signals were sent out when they'd already been hit and stuff.
And why didn't they help them?
Do you know what I mean? She was 9 years old, but she said she saw a ship. So obviously it was close enough that it could have come to help, but it didn't for whatever reason. She said there was rumors that it was the Carpathia, but she said no one came to help.
Well, some people in one of those videos are also speculating that people were seeing a boat, but it kept its distance, and they're thinking that it might have been a German U-boat
Oh,
and the explosion was actually a torpedo. So that was also included in my
oh,
questions to pull on. So I'm going to mute again and finish.
breaking and entering burglary. Interesting. I have breaking and entering or burglary, but I will have to see what else comes out now to try and make sense of that, or if anyone has any theories on what that card could mean in relation to this.
What was the card?
Breaking and entering burglary. So I'll have to think or see what else comes out that might
I
add
got the
some
Queen of Swords again.
collapse or ruin. I got as well.
Wow. And I got the Empress again. And I got the Temperance again.
Wow.
Wow.
Definitely. Look, that'll be linked now to the ship as well, or to the White Star Line, collapse or ruin.
Yeah, because the Queen of Swords again, it's that, so I asked about the if they faked, the story because they knew that they didn't have enough coal and that's why they
Yeah.
sped through. And I got the Ace of Swords, and it's kind of interesting. She's got a head in her hand. But then I got the nine of wands, and that has to do with it being battered. I mean, look at the guy. Think about this as being the ship. That ship was not in good shape down below. It was battered. It was just barely hanging on. I got Dominion, so I'm feeling like, yeah, let's do this. This because the Two of Wands is about you get an idea and then you start to implement the idea. But then it's interesting. I got the Empress, and that's nurturing. So maybe they want nurturing meant that, this was how they were going to, maybe the nurturing meant supporting the story, grounding the
Yeah.
story. But I'm just wondering if a female had something to do with the decision making in this as well. I'm going to pull a clarifier on that. But then I got the Temperance again. They're balancing, they're weighing their options on what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get a clarifier for that Empress card. Yeah, Reese, they were trying to warn them. And then the one guy went to bed, went to sleep, and then never got the message, allegedly.
Told him to get lost and he went to bed early. That was the closest ship.
Oh, Aries Girl says now she's going out the door, but she says thief, stolen money, or funds.
Yeah.
This is going to be like another whole show with a rabbit hole. Then you're going to have to really, because if you just ask, just kind of like vague questions, you really need to, Here, I'm going to put you on case because I'm going to get a clarifier for that Empress. I have a clarifier for the Empress.
Yeah, the only thing I had come up with that burglary card was like robbery. That that someone, I suppose the insurance company, the fact that the insurance company were
embezzling money, maybe too.
Yeah,
stealing money.
Yeah. Which was going to bring about the collapse or ruin of them.
Ooh, so for the clarifier for the Empress, I got the 9 of Wands.
Is that swords? No,
I mean swords. Excuse me. So yeah, somebody knew.
Yeah.
That's that self-imposed. Yeah, because I got the 9 of Wands. No, the 8 of. Wait a minute. What the hell?
8 of swords.
8 of Wands. Excuse me. 8 of Swords. Girl. It's like I'm getting hit with all these different ideas and the energies, and I'm just. So we got, so we got the 9 of Wands and the 8 of Swords. So, and then I got the Judgment upside down, which was poor judgment. I think they're saying that that's what. Yeah. Sure, I know how to read tarot. I know the difference.
Alison said driving, but I have to say, Heather, the Empress could be the Titanic herself. Didn't think of that, yeah. Of course.
See, Allison, this is why I would love for you to do these readings with me live. Because she really knows her tarot inside and out. She doesn't use a lot of decks, so she's got a really strong
Oh,
connection
yeah,
and
yeah.
understanding of each of the main tarot decks that she uses.
Right, distraction or diversion.
There you go. Destruction. Ooh.
So of course, there was plenty of distractions.
So what cards are these cards representing? What was your question that you asked?
No, I'm just going on the last question you
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Crazy.
I am going to. I know I keep looking at my pendulum, but I'm like, no. Let me just keep using my cards. I'll go back at the end and I'll ask my pendulum the questions that we've been asking. But I would like to see what the cards say first. Now, I'm going to pull cards on insurance fraud.
Right.
So
intoxication. That's interesting.
Oh my God! No kidding. Okay, listen to this. You ready for this?
Go on.
One of the videos. I don't know if it was the one I sent you.
Yeah.
Oh, by Hypnicity. I don't know if the video or if you know what I'm talking about. One of the videos said that they believe the captain had been partying, drinking, Smith, and that he was not able to steer and ended up leaving it to his second in command, like Toller or somebody.
Yeah.
Because they had been partying and he was too intoxicated to, and you got that intoxication card.
That just came out?
I got to get that deck, damn it.
You do. It's fabulous. I love it.
So I'm going to ask, was insurance fraud a part of?
Right.
I know it's a little vague, but I just want to get the word insurance fraud involved.
Lawyer.
There's the judgment card again.
Oh, nice. I have lawyer.
Are you kidding me? You guys all saw me shuffling. I got all the same cards again. I got judgment. I got the 8 of Swords.
Again.
The 2 of Wands. There's the planning.
Wow.
And then I got the 9 of Wands.
Jesus, that's crazy.
And on the bottom of the deck, I got Queen of Wands. And she's on fire in this deck. They put flames. So there's the flames. And if Allison was right.
Yeah.
And there's the ship on fire. The one represents maybe the ship.
But maybe the fire was even deliberately set, like.
Yeah.
You know? Again,
okay, I'm going to ask my pendulum that.
Yeah.
Hi, PD. That is the Tarot Lounge. Hello, my dear.
Hi. I targeted victim came out. So it's like this whole event was planned. It was the ship was a target for whatever reason.
So I asked if the Titanic was deliberately sunk, and I got a yes. So now I'm going to, because that's basically a confirmation because of some of the cards that we're seeing, because there's just no way that, and I'm going to even ask, well, everybody can hear, is did the Titanic sink by accidental means? And now my pendulum is going back and forth, and look at how fast that's going. For me, back and forth is a no.
Okay.
Was the ship deliberately? I'm not even
Oh,
finishing my
you didn't even
question.
finish the question.
And I'm not staring at it, I'm looking at my screen, so I'm not like looking at it and
Yeah, I have mine
um,
here. I must try it.
was the ship sank for insurance fraud? Was there something to do with insurance fraud? Oh, and I'm being a strong no. Was the ship
That's true.
sink out of hate? Ooh. Was the ship sank out of greed? No. Oh. Was the ship sunk by a German U-boat? No.
Insurance.
Okay. Did the ship sink because of a fire that had started in the bow? No.
No.
Okay. What I'm going to ask the bomb question. Was there a bomb that was on the Titanic and made Oh my god. I'm looking at you, Jackie. I'm not even looking at my pendulum. What do you get when you ask that question?
Um, I asked, was it an accident? No. Was it for insurance that it was sunk? Yes.
See, I got to know. That's interesting.
You got to know on that one, yeah. What was the other question you asked? 3, wasn't it? What was the other one you asked? Oh, the
Was it the German U-boat?
Okay.
I'm just going to ask my pendulum again about the insurance.
Was it a German U-boat that sunk the ship? Oh, I'm getting a I don't know for that. Back and forward is I don't know for me. That's what I wonder. What do you wonder, Jess? Which one? Oh, sorry. I wonder if it was to detour our attention from something else. Hmm. Crazy, lads. Crazy. Anyone got any other questions for me to ask? What did you get,
So
Heather?
I changed my question. Instead of saying fraud, I asked specifically, was the Titanic sunk for insurance greed? Wanted more money. And that's when my pendulum did a yes.
Oh, okay.
So there was so I don't know why I didn't like the word fraud, but I decided to change my wording. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
can ask again, was the Titanic sunk for insurance fraud? And see how it goes back and forth. No. Was the Titanic sunk because of insurance greed? They wanted more money.
Yeah. Wow.
And was Morgan involved? No.
Huh.
So it had to do with somebody else. Was there somebody else from the White Star Line? Yeah. Okay. So, but did Morgan not get on the ship because he knew there was a fire on the ship? And I'm
Yeah.
getting a yes.
Hmm.
Did Morgan, wait a minute, was the Titanic sunk because of the 3 other millionaires and their connection with banking and with the Federal Reserve? Wow, that is really flipping back and forth. No.
And I'm getting a very definite yes for was Captain Smith drunk?
Wow.
It's gone mad altogether.
Now I'm going to ask if there was a bomb on the ship. Did I already ask that live?
No. Don't think so.
Okay. YouTube for entertainment purposes only. I am just asking. I'm just a crazy old lady with a pendulum, and I am asking my pendulum if there was a bomb that was set off on the Titanic to make it, sink. Was there an actual bomb on board?
Mm.
And I'm getting my yes.
You're gonna
Did it
yes.
have to do with the fire that was going on in the hull?
On
No.
Titanic.
Did the Titanic even strike an iceberg? Oh, that's interesting.
You're
Did the
getting no.
Titanic strike an iceberg? No.
Wow.
Was Captain Smith aware that this was going to happen? No.
Did the Titanic strike iceberg?
Did anybody on the ship know that this was going to happen? That there was, yes. Did this individual survive the sinking? No. So why would they? That's weird. Maybe they thought they would.
Know what's going on.
Wow, talk about a part 2.
I know.
because there's so many players, associated with
Jesus. I got yes for bomb. Captain Smith's drunk. Was there an iceberg? Oh no, I didn't ask that. I don't know. Crazy, huh? Thoughts and feelings. They're more
Actually,
than
I'm going to grab my kipper, not my kipper, my other one for the ship, because there's a ship card in here. So I'm going to ask my healing light if
I'm mesmerized.
Shoot, what was I going to ask?
I have to move my leg. I don't know.
It's like my mind just got completely because I knew I needed a ship card. Okay, I'm just going to ask, was there a bomb on the ship? Did a bomb go off on the ship? You know who survived? Ismay survived.
Yeah.
Oh, and another conspiracy was that the Rothschilds had something to do with it too.
Oh yeah, I saw that in that last video, yeah.
Let's see. PD said, here, let me back up a little bit. So tragic when people have costs in their lives without them even knowing it. Yeah. Will people understand that people are people with thought and feelings? They're more than their monetary value. Yeah. Yeah, I'm mesmerized too. And tarot, this is PD. I have been thinking about this a lot due to the Titan being in the news now, not too long. Yeah, it's gotten very quiet, hasn't it? All the similarities between the two. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. PD, sure you don't want to come and join Jackie and I am more than welcome. So what did you get?
Leadership and unfulfilled.
That's for the captain?
It just kind of general. Like I was thinking about the fact that, again, all to do with the money and wanting to be the best and wanting to have the biggest and the fastest ship and the most luxurious and all the rest of it. And it's just like the leadership just felt unfulfilled for whatever reason, and all this shit came to a head. I'm using the money oracle for this one.
Oh, yeah.
Just to kind of think about the whole money and greed side of it. Okay. Prudence is being careful about your money, isn't it?
Yeah, being prudent with your money, being prudent with actions, your words. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've prudence and savings and undervalued. So like, yeah, that would be kind of linked with the whole being tight with the money and maybe not spending the money on the kind of safer parts of the ship and enough lifeboats and all the rest of it. Even though I know, like you said in that documentary, it said that they actually did have enough according to the law at the time.
At the law, yeah.
Because it was to do with the tons and not the amount of people, but.
Wow, this is interesting.
It still all boils down to prudence, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, what are they? Debts and liabilities.
Wow. Okay, so I don't know how the good luck card comes into all this, but for me, the clover also represents, here I'm gonna put myself, also represents money.
Okay.
So I got the money card. I was looking for my ship. I got a mountain. I got scythe, which is cutting down. I got a bouquet, which is a gift. And I also got the fox, which in the deck represents cunning, trickery,
Oh, yeah.
falsehoods.
The sly
So
fox. Yeah.
yeah, there was something, and for me too, that bright sun could also represent like the light of an explosion as well.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it was behind the ship too. So the card followed the ship. So it would have been, sorry people, I mean to confuse everybody. But the light, what the, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
just before that, I was getting the snake. I was getting the, bear strength. I mean, it's just, and then I got another ship card with the stars, and it was a message. And I also got a stork, which was, the stork represents fertility, which can also mean, creating, a project, a plan in place. So, yeah.
Wow. Hmm. No, I can believe that. How was that? There's something better.
So I'm going to ask my cards if Ismay was involved because he survived. So, because we asked the question about insurance, money, I'm wondering if Ismay had, I know it wasn't, I'm just feeling funny about Ismay. So I'm just going to ask if, I can't even remember what his first name is, but
I don't know.
but Ismay is associated with the Titanic that survived.
Something with
Was
a J
he,
or a G, wasn't he? Anyway.
yeah, was he involved in any way with the death and destruction and sinking of the RMS Titanic?
The generation interested.
Oh, oh, oh,
Tell
oh,
me.
no, 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 no. Oh, damn. Okay, so I'd be curious to see what you get on Ismay. Do you want to see my cards or do you want me to wait till you're done and see what you get first?
No, go on. Show us.
Okay, so I got the Nine of Cups, and on this deck, material happiness, followed by the Wheel of Fortune.
Wow. Make your own luck.
Ready for this next card? The Devil.
Wow.
And then on the bottom, I got the Queen of Pentacles, which is about money, security, finances, abundance.
Yeah. Interesting.
I mean, material happiness. So I'm going to ask more questions.
These aren't doing nothing for me. I'm going to try my tarot.
So I'm going to use Scott's deck, and I'm going to ask about Ismay.
Yeah, there was always so much talk about him too, wasn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, half the deck fell
Just
out.
wish I can understand what my past life connection is to it.
Yeah.
So first card off the bat out of Scott's deck, I asked if Ismay was involved with the card, and it says truth. Truth, clarity, awakening. The second deck, the second card is decisions, He made decisions, intuition, evaluated. I also got the caution. Um, and there's the Queen of Wands again. Leader, strategic, confident, determined.
Wow.
And I'll see what you get.
My
And
six of
courthouse.
my six of oh
And the courthouse again.
my 6 of Swords flew out, and there he is on the boat with the mothers and babies. Look, how crazy is that?
Mm-hmm.
Even though, of course, they say that they debunked that theory, didn't they? That he climbed into a boat with the mother and kids or something.
I don't know. I just know that he survived. And when they did the court hearing, he was brought up on saying, why did you not give your seat? Why did you, like the rest of the gentlemen, why
Yeah.
did you not,
Wow. It's funny how that came out. So like that's a man in a boat with a mother and child, like.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask if the Rothschilds were involved, because the Rothschilds, for entertainment purposes only, YouTube, have been known, or have been not known, but have allegedly been connected to a lot because of their extreme wealth and influence. They have
Yeah.
been allegedly associated with dark money, the dark governments, and all sorts of shenanigans.
That's one word.
That's
Reese,
interesting. I got wishes fulfilled about the Rothschilds. I got celebration, wishes fulfilled, support, family, and home. That's interesting. Is the first card. Reese, you sound like the lady on Angela's Ashes. I don't know who that is, and I don't know who you're talking about, Reese.
Was that the movie, Reese? See, Angela's Ashes is an Irish. It was a book. It was a book originally, and I think they made a film, didn't they? I presume that's what you're talking about, Reese. I think that was in County Limerick. I'm in County Cork. I don't know if you saw my comment earlier. But I must have a look at it again because I loved that story.
Okay, Jay
Really
Bruce
Watson. Oh,
is
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Reese. Emily Watson.
Bruce,
So I got a couple more about the Rothschilds, and I got the 9-10 Swords Winter. So disaster, failure, anxiety, ending, nightmares. So that's not a very nice card at all.
No.
I also got the 10 of Wands, stress, burdens, boundaries, vigilance. So it's weird. It's like they're saying yes, and then I'm getting the 10 of Wands, which was like a burden too. I'm not sure. And then the last card on the bottom was the King of Swords, lawyer, advisor, power, dark, authority. So possibly, I mean, they had their hands in. They allegedly have their hands in everything. YouTube.
Yeah. I had the 2 of Swords as well fall out, and the 9 of Pentacles. I was still thinking of Bruce, because after I pulled the 6 of Swords, the 2 of 6 of Swords fell out. So here we have the 9 of Pentacles, like which would kind of say to me, or 9. Here we go. I always point the wrong way. I'm still haven't got used to the camera. The 9 of Pentacles.
Neither have I. I've been doing this for 2 years.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
I'm like, wait a minute.
Where am I? Where is it? It's so confusing. Anyway. Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice to hear. Like all about the money here with the 9 of Pentacles, that they were all worried about their luxury and their money and their having it all. But the 2 of Swords, then you see, or here we go. In this case, she's only half blinded. One eye is peeping out of the blindfold. So it's like he knew on some, even like if he wasn't fully involved, he knew on some level what was going on.
The Rothschilds.
No, I was still thinking of Bruce. Yeah.
Oh, okay, still Bruce. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he knew something anyway, but he probably just kind of tried to pull a what is it? Put a blind eye to it or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Frank McCourt, yes, that's the one. Hey, cat mama.
Now, who is this?
So Frank McCourt is the guy who wrote the story Angela's Ashes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's an Irish story. It's very good. Sad, but very good.
So when I asked about the Rothschilds again, I got 10 of Wands again. And then I'm not getting good cards. I got the 8 of Swords, and then I got the Ace of Swords. And again, truth, clarity, idea, victory. So it all had to do with money and greed. Everybody seemed to, certain people had their fingers, you know, like if you don't say anything, we're going to do this. If we don't say anything and this and this. And yeah, I just,
there's nothing good about it. Like, do you know?
So is there anything else in specific if you wanted to ask that you would like, that you might come up with?
The only thing I can think of is just the fact that, like, had there not been, say, the bomb or the the iceberg, would they have made it to America? Because that theory in the documentary where they were burning so much coal because of the fire that they weren't going to make it anyway, that they were inevitably going to meet their doom. So were they doomed anyway, I suppose, that would be the question.
So I'm going to ask is, would the Titanic have made it to New York if it had not been for the bomb / iceberg? That's just how I'm going to.
Yeah.
I just see what I just get. I'm just going to get a couple.
Yeah, I got the moon and the high priestess.
Well, this is an interesting card. I got holding on to the past. Naivety. 6 of Cups. And this is so cute because that's Scott right there. That was his childhood picture.
Oh, okay.
So Scott Allen, right? People know who I'm. That's him right there. And then I got the King of Cups. Leader. I don't know. They might have. But then, you know, I got the whistleblower card again, the speaker. So it wasn't, they weren't going to make it no matter what. That ship, the legit, for entertainment purposes, only YouTube, that ship was meant to go down.
Yeah.
They were to succeed at any way cost. And I'm going to put you on the big screen.
Same question. I got the moon and the high priestess, so obviously the moon thing's hidden anyway, and it can be lies and whatnot. And the high priestess then is someone going like in this card, at least, not in every high priestess card, but she has her finger up to her mouth, telling you to be quiet, telling you to keep the secret, kind of a thing, you know. Because in another deck I had, the high priestess card was known as the keeper of secrets, so it's like, this would say to me it was doomed anyway, that there was so many things hidden about it, and it was doomed anyway. And you know, people were told to keep quiet, obviously, those who did survive.
Yeah. They were told us, they knew it, and they were like, well, you would be, certain ones would be, you know, spared.
Yeah. And I had the 9 of Swords then underneath as well, which doesn't add to it either. So yeah, I think they were doomed anyway.
You want to see what card I got for when I asked if, you know, I asked, was it doomed, like you said, from the get-go?
Yeah.
You know, and this is the card. I was going to pull more, but I'm like, no, I don't need to. I got spirits, dark times, and transitions.
Wow.
So yeah, it was not.
Wow.
There was no way that ship.
There's a coffin in the top section of that card. Jesus.
Yep.
Little coffin symbol. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. dark times. Yeah, there's the angel of death.
Jesus.
I want to
Yep.
know more about Ismay. I mean, we're at 225 and we started at 1. What is your how much longer do you want to go?
I'm okay for a half hour anyway. If we had more to, what about if we ask people to put questions in the chat and
I was going
see?
to suggest that. Yeah.
Yeah, if they have any pertinent questions.
I want to ask a few more questions on Ismay's involved. I want a little bit know more about him.
More about him
and his involvement. Yeah. See if the cards can give me anything, and I'll wait to see if. And people are just chatting away. Faraway is a Pakistani American, and Jezree was saying that she's proud of her Irish heritage, and so am I. I'm less than I thought I was, but that's still okay. I have somebody I want to talk to you, Jackie, after our live. I have a question for you about ancestry for when you research ancestry, Irish ancestry. Jezree, yes, I'm a Heinz 57 myself. I even found out I had, ancestry that the family didn't even know about. I'm looking at going, wait a minute, Scandinavian, where did that come from? And then I'm looking at going, 2% Middle Eastern, where did that come from? I mean, I'm just like looking at the stuff and I'm going, Finland. I mean, ancestry is kind of a bit broad, but they were still picking up on certain things. The Native American they couldn't find, but I know that I've been told by some family members they don't have the information anymore after my auntie died, but said that she had found it. So at some point, maybe. But Faraway asks, I'm curious to see which core card started this. Now, what do you mean, Faraway? Do you mean Jezree? That's one of the things that I was told I'm supposed to be, but I'm curious to see which core card started this. So you mean like a male or a female started the whole? Because I'm feeling that this was, I'm not saying women can't be, evil and heinous and stuff.
Criminals.
But a lot of the finances, especially back then, it was just all, when the dinner was over, the women were to go to their rooms and the men were to go and talk about politics and money and stuff in the, the sinking of the ship. Hey, Jay, Majestic Oracle's here, and she's Irish too.
Yep. Hey! How much Irish? What percentage?
I'm only like 6%, and I'm like, come on, I thought I had more than that, especially with all my relatives. Now, I just had some interest cards jump out. No, okay, put those two back in there. So I'm still asking about Ismay. I'm feeling it's a man because I've been getting a lot of male cards. And I like how Allison pointed out that the Titanic, because of they're referring to her maiden voyage as the female, so that was very insightful.
It was. Timeline.
Well, so for Ismay, I got the cart, which is the chariot, taking charge, vehicles, travel, success. I got 3, 4 wands. I don't know how the first word that stands out is united. So he was together with people on this. There's the two hands coming together, and then the last card speaks for itself. The 9 to 10 of coins, and it says down here at the very bottom, financial success.
That's all he was focused on.
I think was having to do, and sometimes too, people's families were threatened. Either you go along with this or.
And what was he again? Remind me. Was he the designer or something?
No,
I can't remember.
He wasn't the designer. Now, this is where I could really use you, Reese. Was Ismay the investor? He was one of the investors, I believe. And who profited? There we go. Who profited the most out of the sinking? I'm thinking it would be Morgan. But if Ismay was a financier,
Question for Owen.
I'm not sure. That is a good question. Whoa.
Yeah.
Let's
But
see.
they
A
didn't
card
get
just.
any. They didn't get any insurance money anyway, did they? I presume.
I don't know. I'm going to have, like I said, I knew that these readings were going to open up a
More
whole bunch
questions.
more
Yeah.
questions for like
Yeah.
another show.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I got asking about that. Who profited the most out of the sinking? I've got the Wheel of Fortune. And of course, one of them is luck, changes, travel, fate. So that's one of the first cards that, that popped out. Do you have any that you want me to put you on the big screen for, Jackie?
No, not yet.
Okay. I think I'll
My,
just leave it like this for
my
now.
father and I all died on the Titanic. What?
What?
Majestic Oracle's comment there.
So Jay, that was interesting. Who knows? I might have known you because though I don't think I died. Somewhat, I've had so many different readers over the
Yeah.
years since my 20s up until now. Say, oh, you were female and you survived. No, you were this and you died. And then, no, you were a male and you lived. And then another one was like, no, you were male, you died. I'm like, and I can't, bring up the dreams anymore. But oh my goodness, Jay. And hi, Michelle. Michelle has joined us, Astrological Tarot, and a real quick little advertisement, if I can. Michelle Marie and Tanis Coughlin, Twillo Lifestyle Community. They are going to be a guest on my channel tomorrow evening. So,
Tomorrow.
yes, I'm excited. They invited me. I was on back in August, and I'm excited to have them on my channel this month.
Cool.
So yeah, for who did it, I got a page, swords, military, prepare, charmer, gossip. For me, page of swords too is kind of like somebody examining something. Yes, could be military with the swords, but somebody who's very analytical, very curious, kind of like how can we do this? How can we make this happen? And they figured it out because again, I got the 9 of 10 of swords winner. I got disaster, failure, nightmares, and ending. And at the bottom, I got the Ace of Cups, summer. But that's usually a very happy card. But one of the words that jumps out is abundance. So the sinking all had to do with and another card, King of Coins, businessman.
King of Coins.
Remember, I asked if Ismay was a financier or financer. Guess what? The next card was off the top, financier.
Businessman, financier. Not crazy. Contamination.
And one of the things too, Jay, that I can remember as a child is that my sister's first husband was in the Coast Guard. And if anybody ever comes up to Buffalo, there are 2 naval ships that are here that were in one of the wars. I can't remember which one. They're both haunted too. It's the Sullivan, but the big one is the SS Little Rock. And I remember one night I was driving with my sister and her husband, and we were passing by the ship. And even during the day, I can't go near a ship in water, even during the day. I've been to see the ship only once. I had such an intense, I was terrified.
Wow.
I started seeing this ship. It was dark and this huge ship in the water. And I just remember just burrowing down and just remember shaking and crying and being so terrified of going near that ship. And even during the day, I was terrified. I was like, I couldn't go up. I had to stay way back.
Yeah.
And that was before I even understood and realized. So, yeah, I don't know if I can ever go on a ship, to be quite honest. Though I think I would have more chance of surviving a ship than I would a plane, but I digress. Now,
And I would
Brian, hi, Brian. You know, they say it wasn't the Titanic that sank, it was the Olympic. You
say
know,
straight
that's,
up.
we could actually pull cards on that. But Brian, I came across some other videos that actually were able to debunk that. I believe we're still going to pull cards, but one of the videos I saw today discussed
Yeah.
how that the steel plates, or I should say the iron plates or whatever, that were used for the Titanic all had their number stamped on it. So even though it's understandably a number, because what people don't know about the Olympic Titanic sister ship is that she was actually falling apart. There had been I saw the video, the picture of a huge hole.
Yeah.
Um, it was costing, the white lines, the yeah, I can never say the name of
White
but it
Star
was
Line.
the White Star Line. Thank you. A lot of money. And of course, we all know JP owned the White Star. And so it is believed that if you compare the ships, they're very similar, and that they're saying that the windows, and the video that I learned about this is now off YouTube. I don't know if they made the person take it off or they
Oh,
deleted the video themselves. But according to this girl's video, and I can't go back to watch it to really see, but they said when you compare the windows to what is the Titanic at the bottom of the Atlantic, they said that actually matches images of the sister ship Olympia. But like I said, I haven't really been able to look into that just yet because I saw that video today about them talking about the stamping. But it is very interesting that they could have been switched because they were losing a lot of money, and they were ready to, you know, just be done with the Olympic because she was supposed to go for like another. They had wanted to run her till I think it was 1935 or something. I
oh,
remember some numbers. So, but yeah, Brian, I had planned on pulling cards on the Olympics. So if you want to hang around and see what we get, and I'm going to put Jackie on the large because she's got something. And what's this card for?
well, I was just looking at the question, or well, not the question, but he mentioned
The Olympic.
it been the Olympic instead of the Titanic. So I asked, was it the Olympic? And I got the King of Pentacles. So I mean, the King of Pentacles obviously screams, someone who only cares about the money anyway. So that would suggest to me that yes, it could have been switched just for the sake of the money and for the sake of their pride and for the sake of all their wealth and abundance and to keep face and stuff. So
Yeah, I hate the fact that that video is no longer up, and I got a feeling they made her take it down or they deleted it themselves.
that's crazy.
But like I said, I saw a video today, and they said that the plates all had the same serial number. So they said
Yeah.
that takes, I don't know, but I'm actually going to mute myself so I could say certain words and names so I don't get tagged.
Crazy that we have to do this lads on YouTube these days. If anyone else has a question, lads, throw it into the chat as well. Something that we haven't answered, something that we may not have thought of at all. My cards don't want to fly out of the deck at all, this deck. And I have the King of Swords as well. So I have the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
I'm going to use another deck, but I want to show you what I just got. I got Page of Coins, which is money.
Yeah.
I got King of Wands. I got Five of Wands. So there, and one thing that stands out there is rival, conflict,
Oh, yeah.
obstacles.
Yeah.
And then I got King of Coins, which is King of Pentacles at the bottom.
Interesting.
So I'm going to pull from. I see your question. I'm going to use a different deck and ask the same question that we just asked about the Olympic. But did you want to pull on this? What are your thoughts on? I think I'm assuming that, well, from what I've seen on YouTube with other videos, people discuss thinking that the Rothschilds are one of the families, if not the family, that is the Illuminati.
Okay.
So I'm not claiming I know the answer. I just go by, because I watch this video YouTube for entertainment purposes. So I hate having to keep saying that.
I
It's
know. I know.
ridiculous.
It is. Was the Illuminati involved in the sinking?
Okay, Fairway, I have your question starred. So I'm just going to go ask about the Olympic again.
Oh. Okay, take that out. All right. I can't say I know enough about the Illuminati to kind of link these cards. So if anyone has any ideas, but I have the Fool. I mean, the Fool would say yes to me anyway. And the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups, of course, is about feeling like you're kind of missing something in life and kind of walking away from stuff that you already have in search of something better. But I don't know how to tie that up with the Illuminati. So if anyone has any suggestions.
So I got some interesting cards. But yeah, the Fool, that's like brand new idea, night. So, yeah, I know it's like a brand new idea. They call it leap of faith, naive, but to me it's wow, it's interesting. One's walking one way and one's walking the other.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like, here you go, and then once I don't know. I did ask about the Olympic again being the one on the bottom, and I got ruin. I got the Ten of Swords laying on the bottom.
Yeah.
I've got the Nine of Swords, despair and cruelty. I also got the Seven of Wands, and I'm like, valor. What is that? But then I also asked for a clarifier, and I got the Four of Wands, and in this deck is called Perfected Work. But I usually don't read reversals unless they happen to pop up by chance, and it came out reversed. So I feel like it's quite possible it is, because if this was upright, it would be perfected work, whereas the Olympic wasn't. She was damaged,
Yeah.
so she would not be perfect.
Yeah.
And then the last card at the bottom was loss of pleasure. I got the Five of Cups. So as for the Illuminati, I got success unfulfilled. I got Seven of Pentacles. I got the Emperor, which makes sense to me, because an emperor is somebody who is in charge, who dictates, who's this could represent kings, presidents, dictators, whatever. And then I got the Sun card, Illuminati, illumination.
Sure. Yeah. Huh.
But I'm going to ask my pendulum if the Olympic is what's sitting at the bottom of
Ooh,
the Titanic. I mean, at the bottom of the Titanic, at the bottom of the
what about the ocean?
yeah. So I'm just going to take Brian's question down. So everybody knows my back and forth is a no,
No.
but my circles are yes. And sometimes if my pendulum don't want to answer, it'll just do a funky move, and I'll be like, okay, I'm not supposed to know the answer. So
Okay.
that could very well be, we'll see what the pendulum will allow me to ask. So is the ship at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean that sunk in, well, I'm already getting a strong no, and I didn't even ask my question yet. At the
Yeah.
bottom of the Atlantic Ocean in 1912, is that the RMS Titanic? Wow. Is that the RMS Olympic?
It's a pretty definite answer.
Will they be able to prove in the future that that is the RMS Olympic at the bottom of the Atlantic? I'm getting a yes, but will it be brought to attention to the media that it is the no? At least right now, no. Interesting.
Wow.
What did you get?
Crazy. Right now.
I just want to put that up there really quick. Jesree was
Lovely.
talking to Fairway, so that's beautiful.
Hmm.
So I just wanted to share that.
This is probably more of a question for James Cameron, but why did Rose throw the diamond into the ocean, and why did she let Leo DiCaprio up on the floating tour?
I
love it.
hated the way the movie ended. I was really hoping that.
I know, yeah.
Because she was cold too. She was wet. How come she didn't freeze to death on the? But
Yeah.
and there was enough room for the both of them on that.
There totally was. It was a massive door.
But I digress.
I'm getting a big yes for the Olympic at the bottom of the ocean. Interesting. Is it the Titanic at the bottom of the ocean? Yeah, mine is suggesting it's the Olympic as well.
And then earlier, Farah asked a question.
Where were any consequences?
For the plotters.
Because
something like this, there were multiple. Because people got paid off. They had that whole congressional, not congressional, but they had that whole hearing about how could this possibly have happened? What was the negligence? This and that, and
I did watch some documentary at some stage too about all that, but I can't remember. It was so long. It was a good few years ago, so I can't even remember what they said about it. But I'll have to find it again.
This is interesting. How am I getting these reversals today? I don't do reversal.
Yeah, I don't either.
Because there's just so much to remember. I look at what the other cards. So I'm going to ask for clarifier. I don't think there was, Farah. I'm not seeing cards that would, although I don't, well, there were going to be people that were involved that were going to, suffer mentally. I mean, um, I got, so, was there any consequences for the plotters? I got established strength. So it's weird because their ships are coming in.
Ah,
So not only a ship's coming in, but to me, the Three of Wands also represents, that plan that had been created ended up now you're looking for the rewards. You're looking for, the celebratory. Because the next card I got was another three. I got a Three of Cups. So I feel like there was, and the title on this card is Abundance.
mm,
And then I got the Hierophant, but he came out reversed.
reversed.
And so I feel like this is saying that the consequences were going to be spiritual, in nature. I also pulled the the Six of Cups, which is pleasure. I got the Strength, but at the same time, I got the Three of Swords. So I think for some people, it may have been a pleasure. It might have been but spiritually, they were in trouble.
Yeah.
And they even lived, you know, going through that. I mean, I got the. So yeah, there were those that that probably didn't really care, and then there are those that yeah,
Suffered mentally and stuff.
yeah,
You're bound to, like, Jesus. I mean, as Jess said there, I want to know how someone can live with themselves knowing full well what you've done. I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
And maybe some of these people who were a part of it, their families might have been threatened, especially if allegedly you have a group of people like the Rothschilds or the Illuminati. If you believe in these,
Yeah.
it really isn't. I mean, it still happens today. I mean, try not to get into politics, but we all know what's going on in America and what's coming out with the investigations of how people were threatened. Either do this for me or this is, so and so is going to happen.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what country, what type of government you are always going to have people who are going to threaten the welfare of people's families. You know.
Yeah, I have 9 of Swords and 3 of Swords as well.
Here, let me put you over. Oh wow, there you go.
And in this card, of course, there's a monster under the bed, like, so just serious, mental issues afterwards as well, and suffering the heartbreak of, like you said, knowing what they did,
Yeah. I'm just going to ask one final question, and because I know my pendulum said that people will know, but it will never be fully addressed,
Yeah.
publicly. But I'm just going to ask if the truth is ever going to be revealed about what truly happened. Will the truth about the
Okay.
sinking of the ships be? Because that's what makes me upset is that there were other, that wasn't a U-boat, but I know people saw another ship. So if the Carpathia and those ships were around and they didn't
Yeah.
help those people,
Yeah.
they've got, blood on their hands too, and things
They
that
do.
they had to live with, knowing that they couldn't help. They were told not to help.
Yeah. I'll have to find that link to the video where they're interviewing that woman who said that, and I'll send it to you. It's fascinating, like, stuff she
I
said.
think I saw her listed. I remember
Did
seeing
you?
a video a long time ago. She's sitting in the chair. She's all, yeah.
Never going to happen far away. Next week's episode.
Yeah.
I have zero interest
Me,
in
I
her.
prefer reading on true crime to give victims a voice.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like,
Not give
reading on
criminals a
people who are
voice.
criminals' voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was telling Jackie, if people really knew how I felt, I think I would lose half my subscribers if I ever did a video or a reading on,
Oh, there's lots of things I can't say on YouTube or in real life because people would think I'm a nutcase.
Yeah. Wow.
What were we asking again? I'm just wondering.
If there was ever going to, if the truth was
Oh
ever
yeah.
going to come out.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean maybe.
I've kind
I
of conflicting cards. Like I have the Three of Wands, which is about waiting for your ships to come in, which would suggest that they will come in or
okay.
that they could come in. However, in this card, right, and I don't, oh no, sorry, not in this card. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed in the Three of Swords, what are we talking about? Three of
Three of
Wands.
Wands. I don't feel
Christ.
bad now. See,
You've rubbed
after a
off
while,
on
your
me.
brain scrambles.
You've
Yeah.
rubbed off on me. Um, in the Rider-Waite-Smith Three of Wands, if you look at it closely, right? Now, not this one. He did it differently in this card, but the three ships in the Rider-Waite-Smith Three of Wands. I said it right. One of them is fully on the water. The other one is half sunken, and the other one is almost completely sunk. Yeah. Which is an interesting little detail I only found out a couple of months ago when I got Jamie Sawyer's RWS clone that I noticed that detail because it's quite hard to see in the original, you know, with the artwork so kind of old and not clear. So yeah, like this Three of Wands here, the three ships are fully on the water, do you know, which might suggest that they might make it to shore, do you know, so like that the truth might be brought
It might.
forward, do you know. And then we have the Queen of Swords as well, you see, and she's all about the clear communication and the truth and
There you go.
being strict and finding out what she needs to know and, you know, that kind of thing. And we have an owl there sitting on the back of her throne, which is about wisdom and knowledge and, you know. So with this Three of Wands, it would suggest to me that, yes, it could come to light. So what did you get?
Well, I got the Four of Cups in reverse. So in a regular upright, it's a person. So for me right now, people are saying, here, look, something else happened. You know, the person's
Oh,
looking down.
yeah,
I don't want to look at this. This is what I believe in, you
yeah,
know, and like, you know, your three ships, like there's the three cups here, but mine came reversed. So it could very well be at some point this changes because
yeah.
then I got the Justice card.
Oh,
I got the Emperor. So somebody who is in a place of power, who has the ability to, you know, allow this information to come out. And then
wow.
this time, instead of reverse, I did get the upright, the perfect work. I got the Four of Wands, so which represents, you know,
Mm.
foundation, celebration, you know,
Stability.
union. So,
Wow,
it would be nice if it happened in our time, but
it would.
maybe
It would.
people like us keep doing,
Yeah, keep doing what we do.
you know, and maybe YouTube just allowing people just to have their ideas and not have to
Yeah,
censor them would be nice too.
it would.
Because we all know that this is all alleged, you know, this is for entertainment purposes. But I hate, you know, I don't, because some people have accused me of using my channel for, you know, when I read the true crimes, the missing children, you know, I've done missing or murdered Indigenous women, and men, and, you know, whatever cases that might come to me. And I've had people in the past say, well, you're just doing that, you know, you're trying to get subscribers and make money and stuff off of, you know, these people's horrible, you know, tragedies and, you know, taking, you know, and I'm just like, no, I don't take any money, you know, unless someone does a
Yeah,
private donation, which has happened only once in the last 2 years. And I always let people know that this is me giving a victim a voice. It's not, you know, I haven't been reached by any family.
yeah,
And, you know, I'm reading on and always make people know that, you know, I'll state what they feel are facts that are, you know, and I'm not making up anything. And this is just alleged. and we're just, wanting to, and I hope that maybe in the future that, I mean, there's an old TV show I came across recently, um, where they showed psychics working with police cases and
Yeah.
having them help,
Yeah.
solve murders. And this is from, like, the late 90s, so it's very old and outdated. Well, it's not that old, Heather, come on now. But you can tell, you know um and they don't do a lot of those types of shows really anymore, and if you do, you got to find them on one of those little, channels or apps or things that you got to pay for. But for me, I like, exposing. Like, I want to do a lot of celebrities and stuff, and some people are like, well, you really shouldn't do that because then YouTube's going to go after you. And I'm like, but it's just for entertainment. I
And
don't
not
like
only that,
having to use the word entertainment, but
I know.
you have
Yeah.
to be able to
But
protect.
not only that, but there's so many people already doing these kind of videos anyway. Like when I made my first few, now I've only made about 10 maybe so far anyway, but when I was doing the first few, I was afraid to post them because I was thinking, Jesus, the name will be flagged on YouTube, Madeline
Yeah.
McCann or Jean Bonnet or whatever will be flagged on YouTube and I'll be taken off YouTube or I'll have a load of abuse being thrown at me or whatever. But then I
Yeah.
was thinking, I have watched so many readings already on all these cases. Those people's videos are still
Yeah.
there. So obviously it's okay. So I posted them and I didn't worry about
Bye,
it.
Farron. Thank you for joining us.
Bye.
She says this was a great idea for a live. She goes, thank you. So
Good
I was just
stuff.
putting that up. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
there'll always
yeah.
be critics out there. Do what you love. Do not listen. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Well, Jackie did do that with a video on C19, and she got in trouble just
Yeah.
because of sharing her ideas. So YouTube is very
Yeah.
touchy still about. So maybe, I don't know, if you come up with creative ways of referring to it. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I
There's
know.
a
I know
there's a
this.
YouTuber that calls it crotch 19. I mean, when you put the 19, you still know what, but still, when it was just funny how she called it crotch. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
hear some friends of mine just call it convid. They stick an N in it, to confuse people.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
Um, and just read, this was wonderful. Thank you.
no problem.
But I would love to have you, Jackie, come and join me. I don't know if you want to do this. Maybe pick a case or two during the, once a week or every 2 weeks. We'll talk
Yep.
backstage. But
Yep.
Sharon from Strawberry Rhubarb Tarot, um, she usually joins me. She's on Pacific time, so that even may work out for her too to join us, because usually when I do it at 7 o'clock my time, it's about 4 o'clock her time, and I know seven my time is like 2 in the morning for you, and I don't want you
Oh yeah,
up
yeah.
at 2 in the morning. So maybe go back and forth, but those cards that you have are totally invaluable. I mean, they're just wow.
Oh, I love him. I love him.
And what's the name of Kim's channel again? And I'll type it in here.
Abundant Life Tarot.
Okay.
And she
Kim's,
actually has 6 decks available on her website. The link is on her website, but they're through Make Playing Cards.
and she was reading on somebody with the name of Monk. She was reading on a military woman that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
suicide, but we don't know a
yeah,
lot about the military covering up, even the men, not just the women, but especially,
yeah.
the women who get, like, I gotta watch what words you use. You get,
Um,
assaulted,
yeah,
by, men in the military, and it
yeah.
gets covered up, and, the murders and stuff as well. So,
I really enjoyed, that we were pulling cards as well and putting it up in her comments on her video the other night
yes.
on her live. It was
Yeah, I wanted
really
to make sure it
interesting.
was okay,
Yeah,
because there's sometimes it doesn't happen very often, but there have been times in the past where, I don't mind people sharing, some cards, but I was getting, a couple of people at one point that would write, and I would just look at my chat and I would see these paragraphs, and I'm trying to read and look, and I'm like talking,
yeah.
and like there's like a whole full on reading going on, and I'm just like, woohoo.
No.
So it's gotten better, but I don't mind people sharing, cards and stuff. just not full on
I know.
readings.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
You wouldn't have
but
the time to read them anyway.
yeah, it gets kind of distracting.
Yeah,
It's
it
kind of
is.
like
It is.
okay. So I also do a para oracle that I've been doing, where I like to read on mysteries, haunted places, and things and stuff too. So if you
Oh,
ever want to, join for any, because there's so many, crime and mysteries and paranormal, that go on, that, that would be a great
yeah. Cool.
Ginger Faye, because we've seen Ginger Faye stuff. She's actually read on one of my homes, the house that I grew up in, and she's had other people, and she's read with Julie, Kutsia Watts, and Peter. And she has Amber from Lavender Moon. Amber's fabulous. I adore Amber. Um, and they do, you know, they read on haunted places and stuff. So um,
I was
I
checking.
prefer that over politics. It's just like,
Yeah.
you
Oh
know,
no, I wouldn't go near
just
politics.
same day, same shit.
Yeah.
Or different day, same shit.
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, there you go. So everybody, thank you for joining Jackie and I, and stay tuned. We'll probably be back for either a
We'll be
part
back.
deux or a whole brand new. And if you have any cases that you know of, especially in your local area, like I just learned about one a couple of days ago about a woman that is that still a Jane Doe that was found murdered in the South Towns from me, and her body was found on my birthday in 1983. And so Nick Groff, who was formerly of Ghost Adventures, his wife is actually a psychic medium, and they've come to Buffalo several times, and they tried doing a bit of a read on her to try to help find out who she is, because
Wow.
they knew that she had a daughter, but they just could never figure out who this person is. So I would love to be able to read on that if you would be interested. So Jackie and I will talk, and if anybody, my email is in my description. Let me know any interesting cases, and yeah, and we'll do you have anything? Are you going to be doing any cards tonight, or do you recommend any? Because your channel, you've been around a couple years already, right?
Um, I think I've probably been posting videos for about 4 years, maybe.
Oh, 4 years. Do you do lives? I don't think I've
What?
seen you really.
4 or 5 years, maybe. I've been posting videos, but I've only started lives on like the 27th of August or something, the end of August anyway. So only a couple of months ago, like, yeah.
Okay.
But I
So
just went
hopefully,
mad. Like I did one of a Monday night, and then I did one the Tuesday night, the Wednesday night, Thursday night. I did about 5 the first week because I knew if I stopped after the first one, I wouldn't come back.
yeah.
So I just kept going, and then
Come here.
Irish Granny Tarot got on to me to do readings, so we did some readings,
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
going to
other
read
people.
with her at some point.
Hi. Ah,
Yeah,
look.
he was at the door. He's been a good boy, and he likes to
First to
say
God
hi to
love
people.
us.
So that's my Mizey. That's one of my rescues.
He's had
So
some.
you want to say hi? Okay, be a good boy. Alrighty. So you got it. So you're going to be planning on doing lives on a regular basis, or
Yeah, yeah,
see now for
definitely.
me, I want to do videos, but I just feel weird and awkward talking to a screen and not to like actual people
All right.
in a chat or with a fellow reader.
Yeah,
Um, and I have a kind of a funny setup anyway, so it's just like, oh, maybe one of these days when I know how to have the right angle where I can, pull cards and do a read, and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll get into that. So, alrighty, everybody. Thank you for being here. And again, Michelle and Tanis will be my guests on my channel tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So stop by for spirit reading. We're going to do, because of this being Samhain, our ancestors. So I was hoping to
Yeah.
kind of design a lot of my shows with reaching, our ancestors and honoring them. So hopefully y'all can drop by then. And until then, everybody have a beautiful rest of your day.
Thanks, guys.